Welcome back, everybody. This is the Out of Body Experiences podcast. I am one of your hosts. I'm Alicia Figuarelli from Greco Publishing, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Tom Greco of Greco Publishing and Eddie Day of Collision Restoration. And today, for the first time, it's a very monumentous day. We have a guest. Never had a guest before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big day. Frank Dominici. He's what is your official title now?
I'm the general manager of the Meadowlands Expo Center and SMG Expo.
And he has been our liaison at the Expo Center since we moved northeast to Secaucus. And we've got a lot of northeast news to share, so he's a good one to talk to this time around.
Welcome, Frank.
Welcome.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Eddie. How you guys doing?
Good, Frank. Very good. Very good.
No
Hey,
complaints.
been interesting, I'm sure for you also.
It's been very interesting. We, as soon as the whole thing hit, we were asked by the state of New Jersey to convert our convention center into an FMS station. So we met with the New Jersey Task Force, which is New Jersey State Police, Corrections Department, Department of Health, Department of Treasury, and we created a 250 bed complex here. Took about 3 days to build out. We had to bring in portable plumbing, showers from the outside with HD for the handicap. And then they took over. The original plan was supposed to be non-COVID patients. And then when it became COVID, the state took over and we kind of just sat back and watched them run it. And the total for 8 weeks was 300 patients. But they were step-down patients, basically to get them out of the hospital and to bring them here to recover their last 8. The average was about 8 days that they stayed here.
Okay.
And then on May 17th, they told us that with the East Orange new facility that was built, that we were going to be dismantled. So we just dismantled it 2 weeks ago. We came in with sanitizing crews, sprayed everything down. We cleaned all the air ducts. And then after they left and we tore everything down, we did it again. So we did a double cleaning, and now we're just sitting here waiting for business to restart.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. When we decided to, the original Northeast show was scheduled for March 21st. No, March. What was it?
22.
Yeah, 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
No, 20, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that weekend. And when the COVID hit, it was around March 10th that we decided to postpone it. We were in constant contact with Frank regarding making that decision. And what happened was, ultimately it was the best decision to make, because Frank, how soon after did they contact you after March?
The first contact was around the 11th to 12th of March that they said that Governor Murphy, they came in and took a look at our building. And then without telling us, Governor Murphy went on live and said that the Meadowlands would be the first FMS station. So we were caught by surprise, and we started building it out around the 27th of the month. March 27th was the first labor call to build it out. It took days to plan with the Army Corps of Generals.
Well, what it was, so for people listening, it became a pop-up hospital in general terms for overflow of patients that when the hospitals got filled up around the area.
How many patients were there?
300 in all.
In 8 weeks?
In 8 weeks.
That's low volume.
It was very, and we were the highest volume out of all 3 that were built.
And it was non-COVID people that came there.
No, we COVID stepped down. So the original plan was non-COVID. And then from the hospital, come here, recover guys with knee injuries or diabetes. But then the amount of medication they needed here was too much. So that's when they went to COVID only.
Oh.
And the liability insurance wise.
So they scaled it down where they could tailor the medication. They didn't need medication for 7 different illnesses. They just needed it for COVID. So they simplified it. Yeah.
Simple pharmacy, simple procedures.
Makes sense. Yeah. That's why, thank God the volume was down.
Yeah.
Frank, how did they handle the cleaning afterwards?
They brought in a crew before we came in to strike everything and wiped everything down. Sprayed the whole inside of the expo hall, sprayed the lobby, seminar rooms. Then we came in 2 days later and tore it all down, sprayed one more time. We came back, wiped everything down again. And that's when we just recently, I think last week, we had all the HVAC air ducts cleaned, the filters replaced, and we did the offices upstairs.
What'd you do with the rugs?
Rugs got out all sprayed with sanitation stuff, but we couldn't be on them or anybody touch them for 2 days. Guys with hazmat suits, and we have pictures of everything that they came in and sprayed everything.
So we had postponed the show, the Northeast show, to August 21st. So in the ongoing months, we've been in constant contact with Frank with regard to how long the pop-up hospital would be there, and
Right.
how is the state government going to allow us to continue to hold the show come August?
Yeah, it was impossible.
Right. Well, we had to make a decision a couple weeks ago, and that's what we did. We ended up canceling the show, but that was more due because we really can't hold it. It really wasn't our option to do that. And I know, Frank, right now you're still you have no idea when you're gonna have people in the facility, and it's July 17th.
Tom, when you originally contacted me, one of the rumors was that we were going to stay as a pop-up hospital for the second wave.
Yeah.
So we weren't getting any information from the government, and they weren't telling us much whether we were going to be remaining a hospital or we were going to be broken down. But even then, even at the point when we got broken down, we sit here on June 17th, not knowing what our capacity is, what our aisle sizes will be, when we can officially open doors, because we have clients just like you guys asking us every day.
So right as of now, I mean, when is your next show scheduled?
September 8th is the move-in for the New Jersey bar exam, and it was 1,400 students. It's now down to 750 because it's one per 6-foot table.
Right.
So the social distancing portion of it, we can have here, creating lines, getting in, one per 6-foot table. It's if the governor allows that amount of people in one room at one time.
Right. So there really was no way we could have held Northeast in August. Really.
From your standard of planning, it would have been difficult.
Right.
Yeah, because there's so many factors to consider, whether it's registration or maximum number of people or the aisles or even having the booths next to each other.
Yeah. What if they would have told us 20-foot aisles? We had to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Your 300 drops to 150, changes everything. So from the point of that June, first week of June, Tom, is when you guys had to make a decision, and that's when you and I spoke.
Yeah.
But we've, in trying to make it, not trying to make up, but nothing can make up for the actual show itself. We've developed a virtual show that we're working on right now to have for that weekend of August 21st. And we're putting it together so we can kind of give our vendors and our attendees something to, for the year 2020. So 2020 doesn't go by without any kind of Northeast flavor. So we're putting that together now. So we're kind of excited about that. And we're looking forward, within the next couple of weeks to release more information on that. So we want to keep the Northeast brand going for 2020 and then gear up for a big 2021. I mean, that's our goal.
Great. Yeah, we're looking forward to 21.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to putting a goddamn black line through the whole fucking year. How's that sound? A big magic marker.
There was no 2020.
Months, all right? This doesn't even exist.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't count.
You know what I'm starting to see? Drunks. I got 3 DWI cars right now.
Wow.
Oh, yeah?
And I haven't seen a DWI car in 20 years.
Wow.
So people are starting to get boozed up. They've had enough. They're going out. And I'm serious. My daughter's generation said they're going to call it the Roaring 20s because the kids are going to go nuts. My daughter's like, I can't wait to go to a club, Dad, and just have some fun and blow off steam. And that's what's happening because we're all like right on the edge.
Yeah.
Right on the edge. So
what is it called? What do they call it when you've been locked away for a long time? I can't.
Stockholm syndrome?
What? No.
Cabin fever?
Cabin fever. Exactly. We all have cabin.
We all have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a shitty, dreary, cold winter, and now we got this.
Yeah.
You go home, I mean, like, oh God, even my cat looks at me like, what the fuck you doing home?
The dog is over it. Our dog does not. She's in here right now, and she's not happy at all.
No, you let me left alone. And dogs are losing weight. The owners are taking them out for 8 walks.
Well, let's
You
talk
know?
about when we actually we had the show in initially started in New Jersey, then we moved up to Rockland, New York, Suffern, New York, I should say, for about 20 years, and then 11 years ago, I believe, we moved back to Jersey to the Meadowlands, and part of the committee to move back to New Jersey or to make that decision included myself, Alicia, and Eddie, and we worked with Frank. That's when we met Frank. You want to go down
Frank
memory?
and Robin, right? Was there Robin?
Frank
Yeah,
and Robin.
Robin is the executive director.
Yep.
Nice one. Yeah.
Let's go down a little bit down memory lane. Ed, what are your memories from back then? And
Oh
making
God.
that decision?
Wow, I think it was.
Can he say that with litigation wise? Can he talk about all of that with
Well,
certain people?
yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, let's not go crazy, but let's let's go back to the time.
We had how's this? We had a guy we trusted. Okay. We had a few people we were dealing with that we trusted. 1 or 2 we thought were very close to us. Okay. And so the other guy, what's his name? The one from the other.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the guy,
Yeah.
all of a sudden he starts shoveling money back to us when we called him out on it, right? We knew we were getting hosed right from the beginning. I did anyhow. And he was suing everybody. Then he started suing everybody because we dropped him.
Not
It was
everybody.
ugly. It was ugly for a long time. It was bad, I called him. I said, I feel left out. I want you to sue me. He goes, I said, nah, I don't like it. I said, look, I'm an insecure guy. So look, you're leaving me out. I want you to sue me. He goes, well, I don't want to sue you. I said, I was involved. Sue me. I want you to sue me.
So basically, what happened was ASP New Jersey decided to move the show.
We moved the show.
Going way
We
down.
moved the show. Right.
The work of the management at the time was not great. They weren't doing a lot to drive attendance. They weren't doing a lot to promote the show.
So, here we are. We found 2 people we trusted, and it's the show.
Hold on. Let me call my lawyer right now because to prepare for the
As
next
the
law.
statute of
All right,
limitations.
tell him to call me. He can call me.
Anyway,
So anyhow-
Alicia, go ahead. Explain. Just give a brief.
So, due to a number of factors, leave it like that.
Yeah.
ASP New Jersey decided to move the show from Suffern, New York to the Meadowlands Expo Center.
Yeah.
And the show manager that was let go then proceeded to claim that the show was theirs and sue ASP New Jersey for trademark infringement of
And every
something
member.
that was trademarked.
And every member.
Yeah.
Well, a few of us. Not again. He didn't sue you because he was afraid of you, but he sued a bunch
No,
of
he
us.
didn't. He didn't trust me
personally.
to be rational.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it,
Yeah,
Ed.
very good way.
Wasn't that nice?
Yes.
He didn't trust my friends to be rational also.
Well,
Not that you have a reputation or anything.
your business
No. He just didn't trust me to be rational or my friends. So anyhow, so go ahead. I'm sorry. And obviously the proof's in the pudding. You can't argue with success. That's Tommy. I backed out. I stuck it to Tommy. I backed out. I had enough. So I'm not going to say that I was involved in it. I helped it grow initially, and then I
But
just
you met, like I said, when we went down, we actually dealt
You
with
were a
Frank.
big part.
Yeah.
yeah,
You were a big part, Eddie.
you were huge.
Yeah.
I just didn't think about it. I think I was bigger early on, and then I let Tommy down. So I have to publicly
Oh.
apologize to Mr. Greco. How's that sound?
Silly. We wouldn't we wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for all of us. So and again, Frank was a big part of that. Frank, what do you remember from that?
I remember going to see the show, and then when I found out how the show was run, it was not typical type of trade show. And we knew we were going to have some struggles because of the non-union union ways.
Oh, wait, Frank, let me interrupt you.
Yes.
He also, I'm sorry, but when we were having our first show, he was also putting on his own show, the same exact weekend, the same
I
exact
remember
date,
that.
same exact venue, promoting, or what's the word, soliciting the same exact exhibitors
Yep.
and saying, don't listen to those guys. This is the show. This is the real show. Don't forget what they're saying.
First couple of years, we struggled. The first
Yeah.
couple
There was
years-
so much confusion and a lawsuit going on and all kinds of stuff.
and there was exhibitors that held out. They wanted to see how it went. But then we proved everybody wrong. And then after like 1 or 2 years, I looked at Tommy and I said, Tom, Alicia and you are the perfect fit to take this over and just go, you know. It was Greco Publishing, it's the publishing, it's the way a trade show should be. And the association relies on you guys, and they're very smart to do that. And I'm here to just be the service provider to make your exhibitors and everybody in the association happy. And we run a great show now.
But you really are a lot more than that, because in the beginning, we didn't know how to run a trade show.
In the beginning, we worked with you guys on selling the booths.
Mm-hmm.
We worked on you guys and laying out the floor, which we typically don't do. But I said, you know, I want to become a team member with these guys and bring them here. But then once we established a pattern and we knew everybody was coming in, it was just a natural fit to hand it off to Tom Greco Publishing. It just and then you guys took it to another level.
Well, you know what? We don't know the trade show business, but the 7 or 8 guys that are involved know the industry. So we knew, you know, who fit where, and you know, it was delicate sometimes when you start, especially the guys selling the big dollar stuff, the frame machines. You got to space them out properly. You know, they're all great machines. Every one of them, you know, all the vendors they've been so good to us. But you know, the frame machine guys, especially with the certification thing, they've got to be separated where they have their own space. You can't put them next to each other. Even though they act really friendly, they would blow the other. It'd be like the hot dog trucks. Remember they used to blow them up? Eds would blow up JJ's, and JJ's would blow up Eds. They told them they were the generator. They were black. So that's the frame machine guys are very, you know, they're selling $100,000 purchases. They're machines, right? These people are making $100,000 and spray booths too. But we've been really fortunate to meet the right people, you and Robin. And
no, and I mean, I'm in the industry, and I say Northeast, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, no, it's a serious show, you know, and the guys that come, you know, with this economy that we had, we're there to buy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, people show up there to buy. You know, deals are made on that floor. You know, and you got really savvy vendors that know how to sell, and the shops, you know, shop operators are smart people. Don't discount, you know, high school guys and all. You know what? Don't ever discount that. There's some really bright guys in this industry, you know, and they're survivors. Like, think of what we're going through right now as an industry, you know. I mean, we already have a tough time based upon, you know, labor rate and so on and so, you know, there's a lot of downward pressure connected to our industry, but we survive it. You know, we're strong. And like I said, everybody that's listening to this podcast should also thank their vendors and their part suppliers and their suppliers, because they've been very gracious to us over the last 3 months. I'll make a point of that every time we have this podcast.
Yeah. And Frank, how from that time when we started with regard to where we were as a show at the facility, where from that time to now, how have we grown with regard to size of show compared to others?
You guys have maxed out the space. I mean, you probably took half the space the first couple of years. You know, we made it look a little bit bigger at times, but you maxed it out. And I think last year you were #1 show that we had here. And the one thing that goes unnoticed is in the beginning, the exhibitors were so afraid of the union, so afraid of what they were going to get billed. And we did the right thing. And we've continued to do the right thing. And they've worked with us in growing their price and giving us more money every year for the services, and not one complaint. Not one complaint do they say, oh, I can't believe I just had to pay $100 for that guy to build my booth. They all do it, and they don't say a word. Where we babied steps all the way to that point because we didn't want to hurt them in the beginning. We wanted to grow the show. And now it's you know, great exhibitors, great partners of yours, you know.
When we switched over, it was like the Wild West. In the old days, they were just given the keys to the forklift, right? Like, go nuts.
Oh, God.
You know what? Your exhibitors like that we do the work now.
Yes.
They don't want their guy on the forklift, the liabilities. Put it back on the decorator. I'm going to pay somebody to operate it.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a guy.
You got a guy.
Got a guy for that.
You got a guy.
That was, it didn't look sketchy at all that it was 15 people with a vowel at the end of their name. And this one over here, like, yeah, I know a guy that can help you with labor. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, that's,
You know
Hey,
what? One of the best things we did in the beginning, Tom, I have to say, is we did that class for exhibitors.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just taught them how to work their booths, what they're going to get, and we left the Q&A.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it. It was a packed house, and everybody was the people that were nervous about union came in, and we settled them down, and we ran.
Yeah. Before we go, Ed, I want you to tell the Pete story from Northeast.
which one?
About when we went to breakfast.
Poor Pete. I should, probably one of my closest friends for
Former board member.
He was one of the guys that made the decision too, right?
we all decide kind of spur them on. We were downstairs in the lobby, right? Everybody's a little hungover and just
Wait, the lobby / pool.
Yeah, it was
mold convention.
like a freaking YMCA with the rooms, you know. Smells so damp, all chlorine and shit. You know what though? Come on, we had a lot of fun. It was a great.
So did LT.
The bar was good. We had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, it was a fun place. It really was. But
Wait,
then
made
again,
it fun.
Let me interrupt you one more time. I'm sorry. Do you remember the one year that I had food poisoning and you came to bring me Gatorade or something in the morning? Do you remember you called me? And like, I hardly ever call out sick. So like if I'm sick, something's wrong. And I had called Tom. It was the Sunday morning of the show. And I was like, I don't know if I can make it. I've been throwing up all night. Wasn't even drinking. If I was drinking, I would have told him. But I got some kind of food poisoning from the garbage food in the hotel probably. And he was with you. And he was like, oh, Ed's coming down or whatever. He's going to bring you a Gatorade. So you call me like, yeah, I'm sure you're fine. I'll bring you a Gatorade. So you come and you're like, hey, Jesus Christ. You're like, what happened to you?
oh God,
I could see Eddie doing that.
Oh,
He's like, I'll go tell him you're not playing hooky. I'm like, I'm not. I'm going to go put my head in the toilet.
I think I threw it in the room. I like,
yeah, like, get out of here.
You're contagious. Like, hey, Jay, grab the catch. You know.
Anyway.
Go ahead, tell a story.
So we all just, I said, look, we got 2 cars, and these are all our friends. Some of them gone now. I mean, some of them have passed. You know, I mean, very, very, very mentors of mine. Great, great influence as I went into my business. They were fantastic influences for my industry. Help me, you know. But we all just, all right, let's get in a car. We drive away, right? We end up at this breakfast place. Of course, we're terrorizing the place because everybody's still hung, half in a bag, you know. And we all looked at each other and said, where's Pete?
Wait, this is about 2 hours in.
We're like, we forgot Pete.
Aww.
No, completely forgot him. Completely forgot him. And then when I get back to the room, I opened the door and he wasn't there. And there was a huge glass mirror on the wall, one wall. They try to make these shitty little rooms larger with these freaking mirrors, you know. And it said jerk off in soap. You know, now I've known this guy since high school, you know, like jerk off in soap, like 5 feet high. But we had a lot of fun. And the only thing has changed is I'm 62 now, so I don't recover quite as well. And
one
just,
more.
I don't have that, you know.
I thought of one more. How about the comedian who came? The guy from Scarface.
Oh, Angel Alvarez.
Angel Alvarez.
Angel Alvarez.
Well,
Angel Alvarez, he was in Carlito's Way and Scarface. And Scarface too. Yeah. And he's a good, like, inner city comedian, you know. So one of the girls in the front, you know, he's having some fun with her, and she's well endowed. How's that? So he starts commenting on her breast. And now he takes her hand, he shakes it, you know, he goes, every once in a while when I pull it like this, one flies right out. Like he's being who he is. He's a Bronx, New York comedian, right? So you have to expect, he never curses, you know. So anyhow, we had this, I don't know who was that guy. Anyhow,
I don't remember. He worked for
big
some.
heavy guy. The girl was really, really attractive. And the big guy, the couple didn't make any sense. Like if you looked at him, you'd go, he's not with her, you know? He's not. And if he was, you'd be pissed off like, God damn, he's got that, you know, like, so anyhow, he gets up and he takes a drink and he throws it in the comedian's face. I mean, a whole like gin and tonic right in the guy's face. Puerto Rican, Andrew Alvarez goes, I live in the Bronx the whole my whole life. I got to get my ass kicked and suffer in New York. Remember?
Yeah.
And the big fat guy ran out of the room, took off. He was pissed off. The girl sat there. You know, she stayed. But we had some silly times. We had some
silly times. Yes, we did.
We did. We had a lot of fun, and it was all clean, good, clean fun. We weren't, you know, nobody was going out to hurt anybody, or you know, it was good. It was just the way it should be. We had a lot of fun. It was a very special time. We had that. There was like 15 personalities that were glued together. We socialized together. We did everything together, and we looked out for each other also.
Oh.
We never took work out of each other's shops. We never stole a car from each other. You know, we would tell somebody, you know, hey, we got a tough guy on the street right now. He's coming to you. He's a bad customer. We were really close. We all helped each other, and I'm very proud to say, and that I was part of it for all that time. You know, and we're slowing down a little bit. That's all.
They still, I mean, they light it up that Friday night on Northeast. It's still.
Yeah, but it's for guys 30 years younger than us.
No, absolutely not.
What are alcoholics?
I don't want to name names.
You know.
All right, guys.
Great. Like the show was really good for a lot of years up there. It wasn't like, oh.
It gave us that push to come down to and have a real show like we do now. Mm-hmm. Now it's a real show.
When I went to visit the show, it was a nice show.
Yeah.
It was a fine show. The lighting was kind of nasty, and it was an old building. We pulled it off because of, again, the hard work and the personalities of the association members and the board members that we really worked hard on it. We got past it, and then Tommy and Alicia brought it into the 21st century.
Remember that conversation, Tom?
Yes.
Where it was like you guys were shopping around for management companies, and they were like, "What if you just did it?" And you're like, "What?" and we did, and
yeah. No, it's a great event. I was disappointed this year. Everybody was, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of people were, but it was the best thing to do. We had to. We just.
No, listen. Nothing's moving right now.
No.
Nothing's moving right now. Everything is on a standstill.
You don't know if it's going to be moving in August. You don't even know.
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't know if it's going to be moving in August, so I think the decision was the proper one.
I guess at this point, like I said, just draw a black line through this whole year. I'm okay with that.
On that note.
Yeah. Start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Frank, for joining us. This is a lot of fun.
Yep.
I think people learned.
Frank, nice talking to you, Frank.
Eddie, it was great seeing you.
Great. I wish I could say the same, but all I did was stick a yellow post-it over the little buffering thing because it was starting to drive me crazy. So I jammed the post-it right over the top of it.
Well, I mean, so to make it seem like he was insulting you. Eddie can't see us. That's what he meant.
I can't see you guys. No. It's still going. The little circle's still going. The little hour. I just jammed the black post-it over the top of it.
It's like Frank's like, what do you mean? No, you don't want.
No, I knew what he meant.
Well, it'll be a nice surprise when you watch it on YouTube. It'll be like seeing it for the first time.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. So thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Frank.
Hey guys.
We will resume this again in a couple weeks, I guess.
Thanks for the opportunity again. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Look forward to our next show. We're going to be talking more about the virtual Northeast. It's coming up in August. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
All
guys.
right.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Be safe.
Have a good day.